Okay, mi gente, welcome to the Monoplaza F1 podcast. As always, I'm your host, Emmy today. I'm so hyped. Coming out of retirement. No, I'm kidding. She hasn't retired. But back again, one of my favorite guests, Tasha. Tasha, welcome.
Hello. Hi. How's it going?
Oh, it's better now because you're here.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Listen, you are actually. I didn't even tell you this on camera. You are my first guest in months. No, but yeah, no, it's good. It's because I haven't invited people.
Blowing the dust off. Yeah.
No, it's not. It's not even blowing the dust off. But also, it's just kind of like I haven't invited people in a long time, and it's like, who would I want to be my first? See, now it sounds like I'm gassing you up, but it literally was like, who do I want to be my first guest?
The yapper in chief.
Yeah, as soon as John Elkann said what he said, I knew that I wanted to have you on the show. And we're going to get to... Before we get into Ferrari and do a little session on that group therapy session. First of all, how have you been, Tasha? How's everything going?
Do you want the long answer or like...
Hey, whatever... I'm going to tell you like my pastor used to tell me, whatever the spirit tells you to, moves you to... Tell me.
I mean, listen, I have been doing good. Life has been lifing. Let's just put it like that. But, we just been like chugging along. And I just feel like, if we could make it through this year, we could make it through anything. And that's
facts.
In all areas, like everything. Because everything is falling apart at the exact same time. Like the solar flares on the sun. Did you see the Northern Lights where you are? There's a lot going on.
Listen, I will tell you at this point, if that comet, what is it, A130, whatever it is, if it's gonna end the Earth, at this point, I'm just kind of like, okay. Hey, if you don't live in the United States, you probably wouldn't understand this. But if you do live in the United States, that makes perfect sense to you. Okay, well, it is good to have you on. We're gonna be covering a little bit of Brazilian Grand Prix, but also kind of what happened post Brazilian Grand Prix and the state of F1 after the bomb that was dropped by Ferrari chairman. Is it chairman and CEO? Emirates?
Chairman. Who knows?
I don't know. Nepo baby, whatever you want to call him. John Elkann. Okay. So we're going to put a pin on that. But first, congratulations, first and foremost, to Lando Norris for winning the Brazilian Grand Prix. Kimi Antonelli for getting second place. It's great. Honestly, brought some tears to my eyes because obviously once Lewis had to retire the car, I just turned on the Mercedes car radio just to hear competence and hear Bono on the radio and just see, like literally when Bono said to Kimi, "Hey, I think you got this. I'm gonna leave you to it." I was like,
"Wow,
amazing."
Want the old thing back, real bad.
That is incredible. Look at that. Engineer understands what the driver needs. Let me not talk to your braking zone. You got this, big dog. You got it.
Yeah.
So, and then Max Verstappen, third place. Yay. Okay. Tasha, first, let me ask you this. Is it too easy to say that Oscar Piastri is going through a collapse? Do you feel like he will recover, or do you feel like it's probably too late?
Oh, man. I mean, I don't think anything's too late, right? Like this season, if anything, when it comes to McLaren, like the amount of like DNFs they've had and accidents they've had, like who knows? So I feel like you can't really say it's over till it's over.
Fair.
But I think one of the things I touched on, like at the beginning of the season when I was like doing my predictions and, it kind of became apparent that it was going to be McLaren versus McLaren. I remembered how the last two seasons have gone for Oscar toward the end of the year where he, kind of just like has this natural like fall off. And so I feel like that is happening. I feel like it's really hard to sustain the same amount of energy and exert the same amount of energy over 23, 24 races plus all the sprints. Like it's just a lot. And the fact that he's only in his third season, I think you can see that the endurance is like kind of something that he doesn't fully have. But I think there is a little bit of that, and I feel like he's also a bit demoralized by the situation at McLaren. He did a podcast episode today where he talked about some of the psychological effects of the decisions that the team has made throughout the season. Yeah. So like I think that's kind of hitting him a bit as well, and I can see how if you're already somebody who feels like naturally, and you know, right, like he knows toward the end of the year he's like, okay, I can't really keep up, or you know, I might fall off a bit, but then I think there's just that extra little bit of pressure because it is a WDC fight. And then the team is kind of like, you know, all year sort of meddling in this thing. It's not like organically happening. They've all year been trying to like keep them equal and everything is fair. And now you're getting to the end of the season. I mean, even the car direction, for example, like he talked about, you know, he's feeling like he's having to change his driving style a little bit toward the end of the season. McLaren has, change the car a bit toward like something that Lando's a bit more comfortable with. So, and you can see that like looks a lot more comfortable driving the car. Oscar looks like he's struggling. So I think there's just like a lot of factors like compounding. And so my hope is that he can pull it together, but I think that's a big ask. I mean, there's like 3 races left. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's just a lot to ask somebody, but I mean, if he can do that, if he can really tap into the ice in the veins, you know, situation that everybody's been putting on him all season, then maybe, but I feel like he's just up against a lot, and I think it's a big ask at this point.
I just feel like so you touched on something, right? A lot of times during the season, I forgot that Oscar is still just in his 3rd year.
Yeah.
Right. And it probably because, and you and I did some shows early on in the year. It was like his maturity, his coldness, like he's that dude. And It was right around the time when Lando was kind of going through some things mentally. I think I want to say like the last time that you were on the show, like we talked about like, hey, Lando, I hear you. I know you're dealing with all this stuff. Maybe just like keep that not private, but like maybe don't make it so public, right? And then somewhere along the line, like switch change, right? I think for me the turning point, honestly, aside from like McLaren meddling, but maybe not meddling, had to be for me Silverstone, right? So when he kind of got like that real unnecessary penalty with Max, right, where he like braked super hard, Max had to like evade him, and then he just like passed him, and Oscar was trying to get that right, and they gave him, I don't even remember what it was, I think it was like a 10-second penalty. It's been a minute, and I remember he was on the radio basically saying like, hey, if you guys feel like that was an unfair penalty, how about like we just like team order? And I was like, hey, you can't call Papi Stella right now to fix your problems, Oscar. And you know, it was one of those situations where it was just kind of like, you're leading the championship and it feels like a bonehead move. But again, going back to your point, it was like, he's still young. It's still his 3rd year. Right. And so like for me, like that was a turning point. Then obviously like in Austin, where he just got super aggressive, Alonso caused that wreck, you know, Hulkenberg, Piastri, Lando, all of that. But it definitely felt like Oscar, like at that point, like you were leading the championship, like you didn't have to be aggressive. You just have to score points, my guy. But now, like, and I mean, granted that race, neither him, and it was a sprint, neither him or Lando scored points, right? But I remember the follow-up, he didn't even qualify like super high. So like, so I guess, I know you said anything could happen. Are you just saying it's probably too little too late for Oscar? Or is it going to take like a Lando DNF because Max decides he's being super aggressive, or he messes up somehow?
I think that's kind of the thing, though. It's like all season Oscar has been fighting with pretty much just Lando. I mean, Max has kind of been in the peripheral, but now he's like kind of, you know, maybe not in it so much, but just he can be a factor.
Sure.
Right. So he can like siphon points off of one or both of them. So he can be somebody that, and he, you know, is somebody who will very clearly mess up your race because he doesn't care. So you have to be very careful with Max, especially when he has nothing to lose, because he knows you need the points, right? So he's a bit of an issue just from psychologically from that standpoint. And obviously he's been through this multiple times at this point. So when it comes to the, having a strong mentality, being able to really lock in and focus, like Max is just somebody who is going to be a problem from that standpoint. He's going to be very tough. Whether or not he can still win it from his position is, I feel like, neither here nor there. It's just the fact that he'll be in the background, getting under your skin and getting into your head. So I think now that there's like a third party involved, I think it also adds a bit more pressure for Oscar, because he's, now it's not just like me versus, Lando, it's me versus Max. And then there's other people, occasionally Charles will qualify pretty high fighting for points, so he's just fighting a lot of people right now, and then trying to get himself back into something, even though, and I think also psychologically having a big lead and then now being at a deficit, I think it's like, you got to kind of lock in, and I don't know if he has enough time to do that.
And then I also forgot Baku. Baku was terrible for Oscar, right? Oh my god. And then I remember thinking in Baku, like, oh, Lando could have capitalized, but he didn't even capitalize on that. And I was like, okay, this guy's toast, right? But real quick, I'm not gonna skip over. Did you see, talking about Max? Did you see the interview that he gave where he was like talking about the Spanish Grand Prix? You remember when he just like rammed his car into George Russell's car in the Spanish Grand Prix?
I do, but I didn't hear the interview.
So I'll TLDR the interview for you. He basically was like, yeah, it was probably a mistake. I was really, I get really passionate when I race, or blah, blah, blah. I see. Yeah. But like, I remember when I was watching that race, I was like, this man can get away with anything on track. Literally. Because there's no way that he didn't lose traction. He rammed his car into George. So that kind of speaks to like the mentality of Max. That being said, Max can be eliminated mathematically if he doesn't place like high enough, whatever, right? And I think right now, McLaren is having the FIA investigate the power unit that Max got or something like that.
For Brazil?
Yeah, something like that. I don't freaking know. And I think because the way, basically, I think they're trying to examine it to see if it counts against his allotted PUs and see if they can get a grip. I don't freaking know. At this point, they're just like trying to eliminate Max from contention.
Right.
So I guess the question then for you becomes, how do you feel about the prospect of Lando Norris becoming the world driver champion?
Oh, hell no. After this season, I don't, no. McLaren to me just made this title fight so
unnecessarily hard.
It was just like, this has been the most milquetoast title fight I have ever seen in my life. Like, no, you go, sir. Oh, after you, sir. Oh, no, you I gotta give you points back because you got points off. Like, what the fuck are we talking about anymore? Like, this is not competitive. And that's the issue I've been having all season, is like, let these guys compete. Obviously, we've seen instances where when they have been able to go wheel to wheel, some spooky shit happens, and clearly the team suffers as a whole. So obviously there is a reason why they try to keep these two sort of apart on track. But I'm like, that just has to be what it is. Like, I mean, honestly, like, we can't keep everybody like happy. Everything is not going to be fair. Like, stuff happens, like Lando having a unnecessarily slow pit stop. That's the team's fault, is not Oscar's fault, right? So Oscar shouldn't have to basically be penalized for that. But stuff like that's been happening. So it's like, that's what's taking the shine off of this for me. If Lando wins, he wins, but I'm just like, I'm much like many of Max's championships, I'm just not going to respect it. There's just too much instances for me where I'm like, you could have won this yourself, but it seems like the team is kind of helping you out, and therefore I don't know how I feel about it.
Wow. So you're saying like the terminology is paper champions, but this is not the correct terminology to choose. It's kind of like, so here's my controversial take. It's kind of like when Kimi Räikkönen won the championship in 2007. Sometimes I feel like, oh man, I don't think enough people watch this for me to get blazed. But when he won, it felt more like, did he win, or did McLaren just kind of like all the infighting and all the mistakes that they made, like, and he was just able to capitalize on their mistakes, right? I will say, like, there's definitely been some instances. I won't go as far as saying like, oh, the team is sabotaging Oscar, obviously for the aforementioned reason of like
Mm-hmm.
Oscar did some early career bonehead moves, right? But there was certainly, I was in Canada when Lando, I don't know what he was trying to do and wrecked his car.
Right.
We saw, was it? I think it was in Singapore, right, when
Mm-hmm.
Lando just kind of like bumped Oscar, and he was like, "Well, I was about to run into Max," and I was like, "Okay, sure, we take those, right?"
Right.
Um, and that to me was like, okay, at least he's trying to do something. I will say, I think that you probably feel the same way as I do. It could be Lando. I want Oscar to win. It could be Oscar. It could be Lando. It could be Stella. It, as long as it's not Max Verstappen, I'm I'm good. Like,
Yeah.
fantastic. And also, but I mean, I guess the last one, and then we can move on. Do you feel like legitimately we're about to do new set of regulations next year? Supposedly Mercedes has the best power unit, so who knows? Maybe we'll see Alpine come back from the trenches. Doubt it. Uh, but do you feel like then this is probably Lando or Oscar's last opportunity in a while, not ever, in a while, to win a championship?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I felt like that last year about Lando. I felt like last year was even his best opportunity, or like,
Mm,
to kind of make more of a headway against Max, and it just felt like he really wasn't mentally ready to kind of take Max on. To his credit, I feel like he's definitely had some really good races this year. He's been amazing
yep.
in qualifying. Like, I mean, like, obviously it's not to say he's not done anything to deserve it, or, that he's been working toward it. But yeah, I felt like last year and maybe this season are definitely the best opportunities to win it where you're not as contested. Because to be quite honest, when you do have a competitive,
Car.
Lewis,
Yep.
Charles, like
Yep.
anybody, Max, when everybody's like more on equal footing to start with, I think it's going to be a lot harder for, Lando and Oscar to not necessarily be competitive, but just to kind of like stay in it. Because I think the margins I always talk about, like with these guys, is like the mentality and like,
Mm,
when you have so many drivers who have experience fighting for championships or fighting for multiple wins even in a season, I think obviously Lando and Oscar are going to be in a better position next season. But you're going to have some people who know exactly what it takes and who have the
yes.
consistency, who will fight for it. So I think this is going to be their best one to get it in this type of manner. Other than that, they're going to be fighting for their lives.
Uh, well, and see, like, I concur. So you touched on something too. Like, Lando has the experience of what he went through last year, right? Which
Hmm.
makes him like better suited. Uh, but can we both agree that it comes with a caveat? And here's a caveat that I'm going to give you. Did
Hmm.
you, if you watched Austin, it was Max, Charles, Lando in the driver's room or the podium. I don't know what they call that, patent pending,
Oh
whatever.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
The cool
And
down
Land,
room.
yeah, the cool. Jesus, yes, the
Hmm.
cool down room. Thank you, Tasha. And then Lando was basically talking about the racing. He's like, ah, yeah, I just wish it was easier to overtake. And the double
And
take side
Charles
eye,
and Max,
just kind of like, huh?
they're like, exactly, exactly, exactly.
And so I co-sign like that milk toast, just kind of like, come on, man, Austin. Because by the way, like, Austin is one of the better tracks on the circuit, like
Hmm.
for racing. Getting to Austin and the logistics and driving, like, that sucks. Like, it's terrible because if you've never been to Austin for or Coda, it's in the middle of nowhere, right? And
Yeah,
getting out there sucks. But that's aside. The fact that Lando was like, oh, it wasn't super easy to overtake. I was like, my brother.
bro.
All right. So wrapping it up with this topic of McLaren,
Hmm.
uh, what do you think would be more likely, a Lando DNF or an Oscar Piastri win in the next three races and sprint that we've got?
Oh my god. The fact that I feel like both of those things are possible is what is why earlier I was like, you just never know what can happen, because at a certain point, and like there's been like tennis matches I've watched, for example, where it's like so dead even, or like it's dead even in a way that it's like, do either of you want to win? Like you're both kind of losing equally, right? Like
Just
that's
yeah.
kind of how I feel sometimes with these two. I'm like, do either of you actually want to take this and win it, or do you just want the other person to lose it? So like that's kind of the vibe that I get, which is like anything can happen. Because I mean, even though Lando's kind of on like a heater, like a bit of a streak right now, like he still has to get over the finish line. And so there's that, like, okay, the next 3 races, are you going to stay locked in? I think that would be the most impressive thing, that, you know, if he can do that, is like, okay, all the noise, all the doubters, all the haters, right? Have talked shit for years. Like, if I can just stay focused. So I think that will be one test for him. But equally, if Oscar can kind of like, you know, say, look, I have I'm in a deficit, but like anything can happen. I mean, they're going to some really good tracks, you know, to end the season with. So yeah, it anything can happen. Last lap crashes, as we saw. You know, who knows? Who knows?
Oh my Lord.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm really excited for this season to be over, so I never have to think about this season ever again.
Or these regulations.
Regulations.
Ground effect regulations were the most buns regulations
trash
on earth.
Just trash.
Yeah, I asked you that question because actually I don't know. I'm on the same boat. Like, I would like to see an Oscar win. Right?
I'm praying for that.
I don't see a Lando DNF unless he is out qualified in, let's say, Vegas, right? And he does something like real aggressive, because obviously, you know, like the race is a night race, and for whatever reason, I know obviously I don't have to explain this to you, they decided to do the race in Vegas in November at night where it gets cold, right? They nice literally could have had that Vegas race like any other time of the year, but they decided, yeah, November at nighttime. Like,
it's the desert.
Are you guys dumb? It gets cold in Vegas in the winter, like not cold, but like cold anyways.
Cold enough, yeah.
And so I feel like that's one where if Lando doesn't qualify high enough, and suddenly it's like, okay, well, I got to get up because Oscar out-qualified me, he does something. Because I think it was like last year where he didn't crash, obviously, but he went off the track and he had to do like a little...
Yeah.
So I don't know. All right. So... group therapy time. Tasha, on the heels of Mexico, where you saw Charles Leclerc overtake off track, give the position back to one person, but not his teammate, where you saw Lewis Hamilton get an egregious, and the only guy who got a 10-second penalty or any penalty for going off track.
Yeah.
Again, I was so
I feel
heated.
my blood pressure. Woo.
Listen, that's why I didn't even record Mexico, because like the whole thing would have just been me yelling for like 30 minutes or however long I do the solo episode. So on the heels of that, I'm like, all right, let me take a break, come back.
Right.
Brazil, Lewis Hamilton home race, right? The race was what it was, and we're going to go bit by bit by bit. First thing, double DNF by the Ferrari drivers. By the way, this is the third time this year. So you had disqualification, both Charles and Lewis in China. Then you had a DNF, Charles and Lewis in Zandvoort. And now you had a double DNF in Brazil. Post-race, obviously the pace was not good. I'm tracking 2 things that were said. One, Fred Vasseur, I felt like the pace was good, at least with Charles's car. I was like,
yeah, I saw that.
Frederick.
I saw that, Baldy. All right. Yeah.
Come on, buddy. So that was one. Followed by what set I don't know if it set it ablaze. That's dramatic. John Elkann basically saying like
accurate.
Everything's on the up and up. The car is good. The team is good. The engineers are good. The pit stops are good. Bro, they don't give... Who cares about the stupid pit stop award? Anyways, but then my man said the drivers just need to talk less and drive.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. We're telling athletes to shut up and dribble in the big 2025 is fucking crazy work. Excuse my language, but
so
it is just nuts to me.
So I guess the first question that I have for you, this is like the most basic.
Yeah.
In the design world, we like to say this stupid phrase, low hanging fruit. So the low hanging fruit question that I have for you is this one. Mm-hmm. Why would you pay someone as much as you are paying Lewis Hamilton to come join your team to then turn around and not listen to him?
I mean, this is a question that I feel like people always like talk about when we talk about like the drivers on the team. Like, why would these teams pay them so much money to like treat them like shit? The answer is that they've already made their money back on all these drivers. Like the amount of merge, and especially with Lewis, they've already made that money back. People can say all day, oh, they're paying him so much money for him to not qualify or not win races. It doesn't matter. That whole contract has already been paid back in full and then some. So that's why they're not listening to him. They already have their honeypot. Like they're talking about making a Lewis Hamilton road car. Like they are so excited to make money hand over fist that they don't actually care. But they didn't think that everybody else was actually invested in this, like in terms of seeing how well he could perform. Like no matter, what Ferrari thinks, he has expectations. We all have expectations. Mm-hmm. And we know how dedicated he is. Like the fact that we have had Lewis Hamilton Fashion Week like 8 times this year, so he could wear those Ferrari jerseys, so he could be part of the team. Like he's now referring to Team LH as the Tifosi, like we're all just one big melting pot. But you know what I'm saying? Like he's trying to integrate into the team and into the culture. So to sit here and say like, the drivers need to complain less and like focus, like they are focused. Like you're hearing reports that Lewis is bringing documents, plural.
He did 2 times too,
yeah, to tell them the things that need fixing on the car. I mean, this is a car he had no involvement in leading up to this season, so he's in it, fresh perspective. I would want that perspective, no matter how much you might not agree with him being able to just come in and like drop a bunch of documents on a desk and like say what he wants, but like he had no involvement in this. So this is his first interaction with this car. So of course he's going to have a fresh perspective on it. And so for people to take offense to that, allegedly within the team taking offense to him having an opinion, or even Charles like having an opinion, like he's been there for freaking forever. He never wants to say anything bad about the team. Like he's very careful about even when he does complain, but it's always been justified. Like, it's never like he's just shitting on people to shit on people. He's like, we don't have the pace.
And the thing is, like, he says that, by the way, he says basically in a more roundabout way, he's saying the same things that Lewis is saying about the car, by the way. It's just like it is received differently. I'm not even going to touch on why, but it's just like received differently, right? I think that I'm pretty sure this is something that you said a while back on one of your posts. It feels like Ferrari for the longest time was just content with winning Monza, and that was like their like little mini championship. But it was like, y'all know there's 23 other races,
so many more opportunities to win,
right? and so like for me, I don't understand why like the shut up and drive comment comes, because anybody with just like a set of eyeballs, right, can see like clearly the car has issues. If I could understand if it was just like one driver story, like, so if this was like a Daniel Ricciardo last year in McLaren type of performance from Lewis, where it's like clearly like Charles is like outperforming him, blah blah blah, but like Charles has gotten a ton of podiums this year. Great. Hasn't sniffed a win all year. I mean, maybe he got close to Monaco, maybe, but that wasn't going to happen, right? But the fact that like both the drivers are saying, hey, this car is actually trash. Like it's buns, right? I want to know what highlights, what AI video John Elkann is watching where the car is like doing fantastic. Like, be so for real right now.
I mean, you follow the radio, and it's like they're asking Lewis to lift and coast
from formation lap. It's literally from the formation. I swear to God, it's from the formation lap. Lift and coast, 10 meters. I'm like, we just started this race.
We just got here. And so like that's my like, yeah, okay, we can claim the crown champions of pit stop Yes, they have improved tremendously, actually, because they were some ass a few years, not even a few years ago.
Sure.
Tremendous improvement. But the engineering, you cannot say that the engineering has been good. We listen to Ricky every week, not give Lewis any relevant information for his races to improve his times, to anything.
Was it, was it Mexico? What race was it? No, it was Austin. It was Austin after the sprint where he was like, "Oh, pick up some rubber or whatever." It's like, yeah, I've been doing that, dog.
Like who are you talking to? Like, I've been here. You know what I mean? Like, he's like, but it's you. For John to make those comments to me, and especially this race where both cars sustained super heavy damage, right? Yep. Like Lewis got hit from lap 1. Carlos Sainz gave him floor damage, so he already had the damage. Then he obviously clipped Colapinto, and that was it. But and then Charles fully got hit by Kimi, tire just flying and whatever.
Bye.
But this race, right, to air your grievances, just feels like petty. Like you've been saving that up, and now you want to use this as an opportunity to say something, because they have been complaining all season about the car, but like, it is what it is. You can't sit here and say that they don't deserve, especially when they're being asked, right? So like, we're going to the press room. They're like, "Hey, Lewis, what happened in this race? Hey, Charles, how was the car feeling?" They're not going to lie. And we know what's happening over the radio. So why are we basically getting mad at them for saying, yeah, the car didn't have any pace today. I don't know what happened between quali and this session. Like, it's just ridiculous. It just feels petty.
Well, not only that, but like, the car seems to be more of an enigma than the what was it, last year? I forget what. See, I've left my ways of Mercedes.
The 16? I think we're on the W16.
Right, and that one was like, oh, we don't know what's going on with this car. Sometimes it's good, sometimes, anyways. And so like, this car feels like even more Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde-esque than anything, right? But the thing that you're touching on is like, everything that anybody is watching is noticing. You have, I never listened to Charles' radio, so I don't know what it's like with him and his race engineer. But I know that with Ricky, Lewis asked for a set of information. And by the way, I'm pretty sure that it's a pattern, right? Like, Lewis probably says, "Hey, this is the information that I need from you. Whenever I ask for this, like, I'm looking for this, I'm looking for this." And Ricky's he's telling him lap times of people who are nowhere near him, right? Or he's saying like, "Hey, can you guys do something about the cheating?" Yeah, we got it. Lifting codes. I was like, okay. Hey, I think I picked up floor damage. Nope, everything looks good. It's like,
looks
hey,
over here,
meanwhile, he's like dragging his wing. Oh yeah. Yep.
Up under the car, like, yeah.
I was like,
good.
No damage.
Yeah.
And so like, I know this is a tired question, right? And it's not an original question, because everybody on any podcast you watch is that, like, how long is Ricardo Adami going to be a race engineer? Because like, he's been there for ages. He was Vettel's race engineer, then he was Carlos Sainz's race engineer, now he's Lewis Hamilton's. Like, and to me, that speaks again of like this pattern that Ferrari has of like, we're just going to keep everything as it is because we are Ferrari and Ferrari is great and everyone's going to but like, it's not translating into wins. And it's been almost 20 years since they just happened. Yeah, I'm saying it again, happened to win a champion.
They're coasting on a memory. They're coasting on a legacy. They're not really trying to. And, at the beginning of the season, I was very excited, like most people, because like, in my opinion, and we all know Ferrari, like, especially in recent years, has been the butt of every single joke. So This is not like delusion of like, oh, well, I mean, now I could look back and say, yes, it was delusion, but it felt like if you're going to court Lewis Hamilton, you're going to have to get your shit together. Like, you're going to have to admit that, okay, we're not doing everything the best, or, we could change our ways. And that's kind of the vibe that you were getting, was that they were willing to put the work in to improve the team from every aspect. Like, we were going to approach this from every single aspect except the top, which is clearly the issue. The fact that, what were you going to say?
No, keep going. Yeah.
Oh, the fact for me, the thing that for me that really bothers me with Lewis, especially, all the expectations on him to like overachieved this season, even though this is his first year in Ferrari.
Sure.
At the beginning of the year, everybody was excited for him to drive the car. If it was going to be anything close to the previous year, then we were in for a treat. That did not happen. They changed the whole car, and we can talk about why after 4 seasons of a regulation set, they made the worst car. What have you guys learned in 4 years? And then what gives you now the audacity to judge Lewis Hamilton for coming in and basically not even being, it's not drivable. He's had some flashes, I feel like, of brilliance, and he's definitely done a great job of improving his quality. His gap to Charles is paper thin, razor thin. So obviously he has made improvements as a driver, but there's only so much he can do. He's not a magician. And so the fact, it just feels like deep down they're resentful toward him, and maybe even also toward Charles, that how dare you complain about this car that we've made you? This car sucks. This cannot be the last year of regulations and you have not made any improvements in the engineering, and then blame the drivers for not being able to drive it. That's crazy.
See, right up my alley. That's why I was snapping my fingers, because for me it's kind of like in year 4 regulations, it's an open book test at this point.
Hello, you could have taken any design.
so okay, pardon me while I name drop here for a second, right? So a very good friend of mine, Vince Duran, he has his own podcast, Entrando a Pits. He's ESPN reporter. He's the one who asked Lewis Hamilton the hammer time question.
Oh,
yeah,
haven't heard that name in years.
yeah. That was my boy. That was my boy Vince.
Oh,
he's been on my show a couple of times. He works for ESPN, so I'm kind of side note.
Right.
I was super jealous of him last week because he's sending pictures. We're all in this podcast WhatsApp group. Yeah, I'm an immigrant. I use WhatsApp. Anyways, and he's sending all the pictures of the interviews, and I was like, so 1 degree of separation between me and Lewis Hamilton.
Literally, it's you know him, yeah.
But he is a true tifosi Ferrari fan, has been for a minute, right? And he said when the year started, he did a whole episode, and he said, for those of you who are coming into this team, prepare yourself for anguish unlike any that you have ever felt in your entire life. And he's like, by the way, they're not going to win anything this year because they came. Well, he's like, if they had left the car the same as last year and tweaked it, that would be it would have been a different story. But when Fred Vasseur comes out and said, we changed 99% of the car, he literally was like, please believe me when I tell you they're not winning shit. And I was like, no, man, it's Charles and Lewis and blah, blah. He was like, all right, bro, you're going to have to learn this the hard way.
Right.
And
because we hard-headed, because I was the same way. Wasn't trying to hear it.
I mean, and that speaks kind of so as Lewis Hamilton fans, I think you and I were kind of along with other people, right? We're kind of along the same lines. We thought last year was terrible. We're like, oh, the team is screwing Lewis over. They're giving preference to George, which, by the way, they should have been giving preference to George, because guess what? George was still going to be on that team, right? George calling his own shots, as he often does. I haven't seen that much. Suddenly, this year, he hasn't been doing it as much. I guess he has nothing to prove now. I don't know. Okay.
You would think he'd want, but anyway.
You would. But low key. Anyways, and so I don't know if it was because of how last year was going that we were like, God, we are released from the shackles of Mercedes.
Can't get any worse. Yeah.
I miss Mercedes, Tasha. I'm just gonna go. I'm recording that. Yeah. Listen, the efficiency of a competent team, because Germans are nothing if not analytical, right?
Right.
They're like, it's not working. We got to change it, right?
Something's got to change, yeah.
And so I feel that kind of set me up. And also, just side note, by the way, and I feel like you probably already peeped this, but how come every time, this is such a random tangent, how come every time George Russell wins a race, they talk about everything but George Russell won the race?
I mean, I have my, that's, if you really want a tangent on George Russell,
Listen, because... I'll peep this. He won Canada, and what they were talking about was Lando Norris crashed Kimi Antonelli, one of the youngest dudes on a podium. Okay.
Yeah.
He won in Singapore. All they were talking about was Lando and Piastri's incident on the first lap, right? So in DR, they have a nickname for George Russell. They call him Induveca. Induveca is a salami brand that we have in DR, and it's just always there on your plate. Like
right.
It's just there. Like it's part of your meal, but it's just there.
That is like, that's why it's so funny that this year the meme is like, does George Russell does nothing, gets a podium, like that is his whole brand, which is why it makes complete sense to me that Mercedes has not really extended his contract. They're still like hoping after this next year maybe they can get who they really want. So that's how I feel about George. Like he's there.
But
yeah,
I just feel like he's not bad. I don't know. I don't know what else he has to do. I mean, he's not exciting. All right. I know what that sigh is, Tasha. I get it.
Yeah.
All right. He's a good man, Savannah. All right.
But that's the problem, though, is not like you're at Mercedes. Their last superstar driver is Lewis Hamilton. Sure. You have collected 8 constructors titles with this guy. You need somebody who does more than just exist. This is the problem. George Russell still is the bottleneck a lot of times on track. Like, he's still the slower driver. Kimmy's exciting because he's fresh and he's new and he was just born yesterday. Like, like there's so much excitement for that. Now, do I think it's right after Toto Wolff told everybody that George Russell is the future of the team? Like, that you're going to give the guy that you call the future a 1-year contract extension? Like, I think that's shady, but I mean, a lot of shady things happening in Formula One, but I feel like he has not done enough. And especially if you have your eye is on Max and you've got Kimmy now, and like now all that's standing in between that is just George, who's not really thrilling you. So like, I mean, yes, I feel like George does a decent job, but again, the memes are the memes. Like, that is why, like, it's not like he's pushing to get these wins. He's just outlasting everybody else, and good for him, because that's part of the game too. But it's not really going to make anybody like nothing to write home about.
By the way, I know you peeped how Mercedes is still trying to get residuals off of Lewis.
Mm-hmm. What did he?
What was it? He snuck into a press conference or something that like Toto was doing. They posted that on their social media. Oh yeah, I remember what it was like to get this many views and likes on the social media posts.
Much engagement, like,
bro. If you don't get the,
y'all are not slick.
but see, now full circle, and so I'm back to you asking as right. You agree with me? Mm-hmm. I think we were in the trenches last year when it came to Mercedes. We were like, free us from this bondage, this whatever it was. The season starts. Lewis has the dopest intro with the suit looking fly with the
so good
everything. I was like, man, this man is on point. Skin is fine. The lineup is good. The braids, maybe find somebody who can like maybe not pull your hair back. Like,
listen,
that's and that's on European braiders. I said what I said.
This is a whole topic in my group chat, by the way. Like, trust we peep like, oh,
they're not. I'm just like, Lewis.
You can see the future.
You're gonna have to his head. You're gonna have to make a trip to Turkey, my man.
Brother. His doctor is like, "Are you kidding me? Like, I did my big one on your hairline, and look how you repay me."
Hey, and by the way, for those of you thinking about going to Turkey, I just want y'all to know it doesn't always take. Okay, it doesn't always take, but Lewis is blessed because it did take. Anyways, and so like. And so like my point now is that like full circle moment. Sorry, I just like so off track. That's why I like having you on the show. I'm so sorry. I apologize. Coming
two
back.
series having a conversation.
Coming back. All right, stream of consciousness conversations. And so now like we started a season off super exciting. Everything was great. Yeah. You had Australia where like for a hot second Lewis was like leading the race. I think he led for 2 laps before like some crazy happened, and then obviously like he ended up in 10th, I think, that first race. I was like, okay, but it was raining, whatever, right? Then you had China with the sprint, and I was like, okay, and I was so hyped for sprints. I'm not gonna go on a tangent on like, do sprints count? Like, whatever, it's just as hard to get. It doesn't matter. And then it wasn't like it was all downhill from there. I was like, okay, yeah, like he's still good, like he's getting better. But the warning signs were there about this season being bad. So I told you the first one where Vince was telling me, hey, this is gonna be a trash season. They changed 99% of the car. I'm just letting you know. And I'm like, okay. The second warning sign, Tasha, you know what it was?
Mm-hmm.
When they did the parade, the little thing that they did in Italy where they drove like the old Ferrari cars, and Lewis and Charles were like driving on a car. They had like the whole crowd and like the Piastri. It was almost like the season I don't think had started yet. They were literally just like introducing them. Lewis is waving. It's all packed. Charles is singing the national anthem. I'm like, why are we having a championship parade when we haven't won anything? And usually when a team does that, they just said it. So that was warning number 2. Warning number 3, and it's the one that continues to happen, is when Lewis is asking his engineer questions and the engineer is not saying anything back.
Yeah.
So, final question on Ferrari. Given the fact that John Elkann is getting blazed right now on social media, I think like Scuderia France has been on his neck,
ratioing them all weekend.
Oh my lands! I'm like,
legend.
And then I think they had like a PR, like some PR statement trying to walk back the, like, no man, you said it with your full chest.
Oh, he said it to motivate everybody or whatever.
Yeah, okay. Sure.
Great job. Yeah.
Sure, you motivated all the fans to look at you like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you said it with your full chest. Like, don't be nervous. Stay at the service. Like, you want to.
See, this is how I know hubris runs Ferrari, because he thought he had the streets, right? Like, I could just say whatever I want. I could say whatever I want. You're dealing with Lewis Hamilton fan base and Charles Leclerc fan base. Mm-hmm. And you thought we were just going to let that shit fly? Like, Lewis Hamilton could have had the honest worst race, which, I mean, that was pretty shit. Like,
that was
Brazil,
a terrible race. Oh my,
pitting like 17 different times, getting hit. Like, that was a pretty bad race. And I still love that man.
Listen, were you like me also in the race? Can we just retire the car? Let's just retire the car.
Yeah,
what are we doing?
absolutely.
Like, retire the car.
I think the best thing they did at least was wait to serve the penalty. I think that's like the least boneheaded thing that they've done all season, was to like make sure you don't have to carry that into the next race. But the hell, who are you talking to about Lewis? The guy who's been trying to give y'all feedback all season about this stupid ass car, like Charles, who, God bless him, he has been driving the wheels off of it and can still only get P2 at the most. Like, you're really going to sit here and play in everybody's face that these are the reason why this car is improved? You're lying. This car is falling apart. It's falling off the bone. Like, get a grip.
Not to mention that you're right about the fan bases too. Like Lewis Hamilton, Charles Leclerc, probably like top 5 fan bases in Formula One, of like the most fanatical, unhinged fan bases.
And don't give us a reason to be hateful, because
both those guys really have shooters. All right, like both those guys really have shooters, and don't
let us link up, because now we got a tag team.
Not to mention, and by the way, even if you are a Lewis Hamilton fan, don't say the wrong thing about Lewis Hamilton.
I'm a Lewis Hamilton fan, but what? What?
Ooh. Don't do that.
Don't be the Lewis Hamilton fan pick-me's on.
I'm good. And so I guess 3 races, 1 sprint, 2 final questions on Ferrari. 1, do you feel like Lewis will get a podium? You see how far my expectations have fallen. I'm not even asking for a race win. Do you feel like he'll get a podium in a race this year?
No. Mm-mm.
Okay.
Not without some like extreme circumstance. I mean, honestly, I have wanted all season, and we've had opportunities. I mean, this is where it comes down to the audacity for John Elkann to speak on Lewis. Like, his team hasn't cost this man like at least 3 different podiums. Like, and especially in Mexico, which that was like a freaking layup.
That should have been
right. And then we have his teammate literally stealing one off of him. So like, I don't want to hear anybody coming at Lewis like, oh, he could have done better. If he doesn't get a podium this season, it just is what it is. I want that for him, and I know he wants that, but I'm just gonna live in reality. Like, the team is not competent enough to help him in a race to actually get that, and any opportunity he has had, it's come and gone. So I don't know.
Well, and then somebody said was like, It took Michael Schumacher 5 years to start winning at Ferrari, and I was
God.
just like, I'm not trying to be a Ferrari fan for 5 years. Like,
I can't do this for the next 5 years.
Listen, my full beard will be white at that point. It'll just be white. I might even lose. So sure, I think. I believe Lewis. It's possible, right?
Yeah.
A podium, sure. By the way, like side note, I do peep every teammate that Lewis has had. Obviously wants to beat Lewis, but like the last two teammates have been trying, like they're keeping tally, right? And like I'm keeping track of that. Obviously, like George Russell.
Warriors are...
Yeah, when he left Mercedes, George Russell was like, well, I had the greatest of all time as my teammate, and I beat him. I'm like, you beat him in what, George? Did you in what race wins and head-to-heads and qualifying? Awesome, fantastic. How many driver titles did you get off of him? Okay, sit down, have a seat,
and still lost the overall head-to-head by 1 point. Yeah, so there's that.
And then with Charles, I'm also like peep game, like
side eye a little
Charles,
bit.
Like Charles showed me who he was, because what race was it? Was it Saudi Arabia? No, I forget. It was like one of the races where they told Lewis to swap positions with Charles at the end of the race, and Lewis crossed the finish line. We're talking 7th and 8th
Baku.
place.
Yeah.
7th and 8th place, and Charles was like, okay, that's not, whatever.
Enjoy the P8 or whatever.
Yeah, and I was just kind of like, first of all, team orders, they didn't even have to give team orders. You were going to get passed on track, sir.
Because your tires were bald.
You were going to get passed on track. Like the team telling you to move aside.
Yeah.
Was, I don't know why they did that to conserve your ego, but you were going to get passed. Full stop. So after that, like, I kind of already was weary, but after that I was like, all right.
Yeah.
I see you. I understand. I'm picking up what you're putting down. All right.
Right.
Okay. Sure. And I mean, whatever. Like in Formula One, your biggest competition is your teammate. Okay. So last question about Ferrari. I swear to God, and then we can be done with this group therapy session. Do you feel like they will take any learnings from this year and produce a car that is at least competitive? I'm not even saying will the team be better. I'm saying like, will they give them a car that's enough? No? Oh, man.
Okay. So I feel like this is one of those, like when somebody tells you who they are, believe them the first time situations, right? I gave Ferrari the benefit of the doubt because, like I said, coming into the season, we already knew that they were on some BS. So it's not like I was fully blinded to that. I did not understand what was happening, I think, on the engineering side of things. Like even the fact that the main designer is actually not even on the team. So this is partly, I think, maybe why we haven't been able to make any upgrades that are like actually, upgraded the car, because of like Loic is having to amend somebody else's work, and I don't think it's possible. Well, it's not possible. It's clearly not been possible. So, so I feel like, once that became apparent that, okay, this car is not going to get any better. Charles, like I said, doing the best of the two, he's still not being able to even contend for race wins. The second places that he's getting, he's like 18 seconds behind the leader. Like, it's not looking good. Clean air, the car is just not looking good. We're lifting and coasting every single lap.
I said, from the formation lap on, let's go.
Yeah. So, from there you can say, okay, well, we have an opportunity next season to start fresh, like everybody. It's a whole new set of regulations. That's not my main concern. My main concern is with the leadership of the team. I think John Elkann, this comment that he made actually was probably one of the best things he could have done, because I think that this really made the whole community kind of like record scratch. Like, what do you mean? Like, your drivers are the problem. Because if Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc can't make headway in a car like this, who else do you think you're going to put in this car who are going to deliver results to you? So I think the fact that John Elkann made that comment thinking that he would pass the buck, and like I said, it came across as very petty considering the circumstances of this race. It's not like Charles and Lewis were having stinker races. They literally were both like damaged and had to DNF. So the fact that you waited until this race. Also, let's talk about the fact that they brought Bernie Ecclestone's reanimated corpse to the paddock and we're bringing him around like weekend at fucking Bernie's. Like, that was an issue for me after all the shit he's been talking, even as far as like I think a few days ago about Lewis. So the fact that you bring that type of energy into the paddock, then you have this nasty attitude toward your drivers who I would say are very loyal considering what they've had to deal with, because they're the ones who get blamed for everything, even though they did not design that car. Right. So like they're taking everything on the chin. A few times they say something unsavory or whatever, unsatisfactory about the car. Like, it's nothing in comparison to the fact that they are having to drive it and suffer and deal with the fact that they're competing for like P5, P7 most of the time. So yeah, I guess to wrap that up, what I mean is I don't think Ferrari has the leadership to bring them into the future. It's not the drivers, it's not the team principal, it's maybe not even the engineering so much. Like, I think the fact that you have people who would rather say we're doing everything right, everybody's wrong, like, are you going to believe what I say, you're going to believe what you're seeing type of energy. I don't know that Lewis has, yes, he has the expertise of winning, but if the people who you're trying to help aren't trying to receive it, I don't know what we can do. And especially the fact that they haven't done it all 2025. Like, are we going to do this? Are we going to change our whole attitude over the winter break? Do you know what I mean? Like, how do we
Honestly,
get fresh start?
No, you're right. And like, I'm also starting to see, now we understand why Adrian Newey did not go to Ferrari.
Hello. I was like, oh, everything's starting to click now. Like, everything's making sense.
It all makes sense. One thing that you did touch on, and I never miss a moment to hate on Alonso, so I'm going to take this. It's interesting that they're always calling for Lewis Hamilton. Oh, you got to leave. You got to go. I would replace him with Behrman, blah, 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 blah. And I'm just kind of like, have y'all seen the gap closing up? Literally what's happening is like he's getting screwed on strategy, but sure, like the naysayers would say, okay, well, he's just got to qualify better. Okay, sure. And then when he did qualify better and he did get a better start than Charles, you saw how they played in his face with that, right?
Correct. Yes.
So yeah, having Bernie, he's like, honestly, he's like F1's Mitch McConnell. Like, he's never gonna die. He's gonna be there forever. Just
that is unfortunate.
He's going to outlive everybody, right? Having him there, obviously, is a huge slap in the face.
It's just messed up.
But in addition to that, anytime like people are calling for Lewis, oh, you got to retire, you got to do all this stuff. I guess my question is always like, why always Lewis, but never someone like Alonso? Because
nobody wants to say it, but the answer is that Lewis Hamilton is still competitive. Like, even when he's having probably one of the worst seasons, he's still 6th in the championship,
something
just
like that,
60 points roughly. But I mean, obviously he's had a little bit more issues than Charles has, but like, I mean, let's be honest, he's still competitive. You don't want him there because when he gets a car that he's able to drive, even if it's not over. The best car, come on now. The reason why everybody loves Alonso, like, oh, he's doing so great, is because he's not competing. His biggest op right now is Lance Stroll. Okay?
Listen.
Lance Stroll and Liam Lawson. And that man is handling him back there. So I'm like, y'all just don't want Lewis there because you don't want him to be competitive.
Or was it like Isaac Hadjar a couple races ago where Alonso was like, oh, he was defending. I was like, bro, fall back. Sir.
Back up off a nephew, first of all.
Come on now. No, you're right. You're right. It just always grinds my gears and grates me. But I think that something you said is going to haunt me probably for the rest of the week. This is a situation where when people show you who they are, you believe them. Dang.
They have the burden is on them now to prove that they're a capable team. Like, I could sit here all day and fantasize about Lewis Hamilton winning in a Ferrari. Even a race at this point feels so far. I was like, damn, we could get our 8th. Like, can we string together 10 plus races in a season of wins with Ricky at the helm?
Listen.
With this engineering department, with these brakes?
And Brembo definitely feels some type of way because the fact that he's been complaining about those brakes all year and then the brakes gave out on him I was like,
he said, you see what I'm talking about? Now, for not to defend anybody, but I do think that the brakes are being scapegoated the same way I think that the drivers are being scapegoated. There's a lot more stuff happening on that car, the philosophy of the car, period. And I think it's exacerbating issues, but I don't think it's just the brakes. And I think they're using any opportunity to deflect off of decisions that they've made. Because it's easy to be like, oh, it's Brembo's fault. Is there a Brembo representative there to defend their brakes? No. So it's easy to sit here and put the blame on everything else. But like the philosophy, again, we talked about, you've had multiple seasons now. You could have copied any iteration of the Red Bull. You could even copy the damn McLaren, and you didn't.
They didn't have to go that far. They could have just copied their car from 2024.
True, exactly. I mean, like, so many options, and you landed on the worst one, which is, again, still remarkable because you've had so much time to learn things. You've had so did the guy leaving sabotage the team? Like, did he know he was out and he was like, bye suckers? Like,
let me give you this car. This car is going to lead you to the promised land. I'm out.
Like, what happened?
Hey, he probably did that. You remember, you ever watched the movie on, what was it? Like The Help, when,
oh my God.
Where she made her that. Yeah. It was kind of like that. I hope you enjoyed that. Yeah,
it's tasty, huh? Yeah.
Well, you just yeah. So, see, and I think my problem is that like I'm one of those people that continues to learn lessons the hard way because you are smarter than me. You say when someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. I'm dumb because I'm like, well, you know, things. Blah, 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 blah. I just want joy, and joy for me.
I do too.
Lewis Hamilton succeeding. Right?
I do too, and I think that's why the season has felt like so bittersweet.
But if I can't get a Lewis Hamilton succeeding, then the next best thing is Max Verstappen not winning the World Driver Championship. I
need more than that. I need revenge.
I'm crumbs, okay? I'm just crumbs for me at this point. I'm sorry. I just like anything. All right. Tasha, closing thoughts as we round out this. And by the way, I'm not going to talk about Aston Martin. No one cares about Aston Martin. I said what I said. Unless y'all want to invite me to your hospitality, then suddenly I care. And I didn't say anything about Alpine because they're in the dumps. I'm sorry if you're an Alpine fan. Shouts out to my kid. So much going on. Yeah. I didn't really talk about the situation with Racing Bull. Okay, it's probably going to be Liam and Arvin next year. Okay, next. I definitely didn't talk about Sauber, their new car. I saw the concept of their livery. I hope that's not the final thing because it's not looking good for y'all. But it's cool. It's going to be Audi. So yeah, sorry to all those people. We only talked about McLaren and Ferrari because, well, yeah, I'm sorry.
That's really it.
Tasha, final thoughts before I wrap this up?
I mean, honestly, I don't have any more thoughts for this season. This season has hurt me in a way, and it's just strange because I'm like, last year sucked a lot, and like that whole situation sucked a lot, but this season really hurt me in a way because I'm like, dude, okay, so Lewis, at a certain point, it becomes very apparent that the car is not competitive. Lewis is he's learning, he's getting his bearing. We'll figure everything out in the future about like, can we win here, whatever. This season is getting embedded in the team. I have felt like the team has just really let me down in terms of like actually allowing that to happen. I feel like Lewis still feels like an outsider in so many ways. Like he's not really being absorbed into the team as much as he's trying to, like, it just feels very fake. And especially, like I said, John Elkann saying what he said feels very like an inflection point, in my opinion. Like it was good that this happened in a sense, because now we know for sure where the Ferrari leadership stands as it pertains to their drivers. We see how they perceive these guys. And then they see how we perceive those comments. They've gotten whacked by the fans. They've gotten whacked by F1 drivers. Jensen Button, shout out to him. I wasn't familiar with your game, sir. So many people honestly have come out who are mad Lewis haters. I think Jacques Villeneuve even came out and said something. I was like, wow, okay. Solar flares are causing weird stuff, so, but it's the fact that everybody is now going, huh? Like, it's all fun and like, you know, everybody's in a rivalry with each other, but at the end of the day, we can all see what the problem is. And the fact that he thought he was not going to get any pushback and immediately folded after he saw that big whacking that he got tells me everything.
He was out of pocket. He was out of pocket.
Very much,
all right.
Yeah.
I'm ending on that note. John Elkann, you're out of pocket. All right. If you don't know what that means, hit me
Get
up.
in the pocket.
I'll help you.
Yeah.
You're out of pocket.
Because you talking too much for somebody who hasn't won in like ever as the chairman of Ferrari.
Listen,
so let's pipe down.
It's been a minute. Like literally the last time Ferrari won, I was still in college. Okay. Anyways, that means nothing to y'all because y'all don't know my age. All right. Tasha, it was super lovely to have you on the show.
Thank you for having me.
This group session.
This venting, we needed it.
The streets needed it. Okay. I look forward to your end of season episode, and hopefully you decide you're gonna pick up the mic and give us one before then. But if not,
listen,
I look forward to that episode at the end of the season. Other than that, as always, if you made it this far, please don't forget to comment, like, subscribe. It costs you nothing. As always, I say, don't forget to tell your tios, your tias, your mamas, your papis, abuelos, abuelas, vecinos, that's neighbors, if you don't speak Spanish. Yes, for the Monoplaza F1 podcast, this is Emi Bertre. That was Tasha. Peace.